Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 137. After the murky period of time, you spend descending the stairs and walking the dead roads between worlds. As you materialize in the dreamlands, something sticks with you. Or at least, it sticks with Dora, Grip, and Vic. Again, the sound of that bell, it's louder this time, and it's getting very, very close. And with it, a vision. A yellow city, baking in the sun, flags, banners, writing that makes no sense, and barking, a cacophony of barking, and then shoo! You materialize, standing in yet another palace ballroom, in yet another dreamland city, another room of massive proportions filled with a ludicrous amount of people. Or did you simply materialize? No. When you think back, you can almost remember waking up this morning at home, thinking about the Millennium celebrations and the party at the palace, putting together the perfect outfit, remember to wear gold, pre-gaming a little bit with some friends, walking through the streets a little buzzed as rain began to fall, and now you're here. But before I tell you more, how do you appear?
In a gold gown, obviously.
In a gold gown, yes.
However,
yeah,
underneath my voluminous skirts,
yes,
are sensible pants.
Yes.
And boots.
Yeah.
For potentially stomping around a lake.
Yeah. And probably a skirt that's easy to just remove.
Rip off.
Yeah, there we go.
Leaving a gold top.
And sensible pants.
Are the pants also gold?
I think I can take the skirt off and turn it into a cape.
Oh,
reversed,
yeah. Fantastic.
To blend in with some sort of outdoor scenery.
So your cloak of resistance is actually being worn as a skirt right now?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Did we have an idea that did we know we needed to come dressed for a party, or?
You got the invitation. You spent the whole day preparing. You know that gold.
Do I remember
is the
what the invitation said?
You got to come to the Millennium celebration. Everyone's going to be there.
In gold.
Literally everybody in gold. Or at least, the people that are in.
You're in.
If you're asking the question, did Robert hear any of this information before today? No.
No.
Okay, no.
That was a little
Definitely thought we were going to show up in the middle of a swamp.
Then I think he assumed he was showing up in a swamp.
I love it.
So I don't think he has anything gold. I think he just has his adventuring gear. But I think maybe at the last minute, he'll look around and see if he can turn his monk's robes gold.
Perfect. What about Dabwick?
Dabwick is going to adopt a sort of dandy-ish outfit with a cape of elven kind turning into sort of a shoulder, just like one shoulder cape.
Yeah.
Hair slicked back, gold accents everywhere, and the inside of the cape is gold, but the outside is black.
What species is Dabwick?
Dabwick is halfling.
Halfling, okay. All right. Appearing as themselves or a different
Appearing
halfling?
as themselves.
Okay. Just Dabwick.
Goldwick.
And Vic.
Vic is done up like a musketeer. Like full puffy sleeves, the pantaloons, like the little tabard and stuff, but all decked out, the little half cape, the fancy giant hat with the golden plumage.
Yes! I can't wait for this picture. Okay. You are in a gargantuan festival hall, resplendent with golden filigree, high-arched windows, and sumptuous tapestries. The place is packed with hundreds of people draped in golden garments sewn from gorgeous silks, satins, and velvets. Their arms and necks are draped with gold bands, and their headdresses are studded with jewels and bright feathers. Tables of rich and exotic foods and beverages line the walls, drawing partygoers who gorge themselves on the offerings. Many guests are dancing to the otherworldly tones of an orchestra composed exclusively of differently sized golden flutes, differently shaped golden pipes, and golden drums of all sizes and sounds.
So it's like very Dr. Seussy.
Yeah, a little bit. And you brought immediately to mind of the party in Brellin's palace, which it certainly resembles in some ways, but as the sight sinks in, you might almost start to process it as like a reflection or an inversion. There, the people represented a wild variety of origins and styles of dress, and here there's a uniformity of look and style of clothing and people. There, the party seemed to be very proper and put together, but you of course learned that under the surface of everyone's experience was this riot of violence and death, along with the foulness of Brellin's condition that everyone was putting a proper face on. Keep dancing, keep smiling, stay proper. Here, the impression is immediately of an unrestrained, almost wild bacchanal. People are gorging themselves on food. People are dancing with a dangerously reckless abandon. People seem to be openly having sex in the corners and on the floor and on the tables amidst the food. But as you adjust to this place, there strikes you almost like a dead-eyed hollowness behind all of it. Like the people are doing what they're doing because they think or know that they should or must, but nobody's heart is really in it. Or maybe the people themselves are a little cold and heartless by nature. Golden torches affixed to the walls illuminate the throng of weirdly hollow celebrants. Crowded balconies and staircases look down over the vast hall. The north and northwest walls of the ballroom closest to where you appear are constructed of massively thick slabs of stone. They look, in fact, like a sea wall. A plain stone staircase carved into this huge sea wall. This huge, solid, windowless wall is only partly concealed by a couple of golden screens. But amongst all this riot of movement and noise, the thing that really draws your attention, and perhaps your concern, is what is happening outside of this room. Outside of this room, a storm of otherworldly proportion is raging. The sound of thunder almost drowns out the orchestra. The pulsing roar of huge waves smashing against the other side of this huge wall. Maybe that wall into which the stairs are cut. Do you see water running down the stairs? Yeah, maybe you do. These waves are booming down the stairs, and the sound is blasting into the room. And you can see through the windows on the other walls, the non-seawall walls. Through those windows is just unrelenting sheets of rain and unnervingly frequent blasts of lightning. Everyone give me a perception check. Let me know if anybody gets anything interesting.
I don't know where that starts, but I got a 21.
That's interesting to me.
Dabwick got a 29.
I got a whopping 15.
Okay. A little overwhelmed.
Yep.
Musketeer Vic.
Not interesting.
Not interesting.
Perhaps Vic's feather is in her face.
She's patting it out of her face. As both Dabwick and Grip look down at their feet, they both materialized, and they felt just ever so slightly off balance. Like, is there something in my boot? And they look down, and half under Dabwick's left boot and half under the Gripper's right boot is a pristine silver surgical scalpel on the floor right underneath both of your feet. Ponder that for a second as I take you to a map.
Vaticus.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
So this is just one tiny little corner of this massive room, and I have filled it with people. We'll find out why. But you are You are in the middle of a dense crowd. Let me ping on the map here so y'all can see the tables of food and stuff on the exterior walls, right?
Yep.
You can see these giant fire pits standing open in the center of the dancers, yeah?
Yeah.
And over here, is it visible?
Are these fire pits or columns?
Those are columns. And then
Is that the stairs?
that's the open doorway that seems to go into the stairs cut into the wall. And zoom. Visible now?
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder where we have to go.
So, as Vic is being a little overwhelmed by the enormity and of the movement and sound and just chaos, and Dora's just flapping feather out of her face, the two of you spot this scalpel beneath your feet. Either you two want to do anything with that?
I'll make eye contact, and then if you don't immediately make a move, I'll bend down to pick it up.
Works.
Okay, you pick it up?
No, I'll let Griff pick it up.
Message understood. Message left for you to take care of. So Grip's picking it up.
Yep.
Just as there's a strange sound echoing down those stairs, this deep, hollow, booming. A tempest is breaking. Outside, waves must be rising in growing fury, each overtopping its fellow, and the sound of a glassy sea is like a roaring and devouring monster. Wind roars like thunder, and masses of sea fog and water explode down the stairs and out into the chamber, soaking everybody within about 50 feet of this doorway as masses of this sea fog drift into the chamber, white, wet clouds sweeping in like ghosts.
All coming from that door.
It's one single door.
Sea fog and water.
And water.
Okay.
It's the Poseidon adventure.
We're on the Titanic.
These clouds, so dank and cold, they feel like spirits of the lost reaching out with the clammy hands of death. Oh, wait! There are also spirits of the dead reaching out with the cold and clammy hands of death. You see, swooping incorporeally into the chamber with this eruption of water from the fucking tempest happening on the other side of that wall, you see 4 green, translucent, incorporeal spirits of these medium-sized beings, curious
Aliens.
ears, flabby lips, sickly green humanoid body, kind of frog-like face, but with empty eye sockets. All 4 of them are dead. All 4 of them are ghosts. I think I've got art for you. I hope I put art for these fuckers.
Are these the Ibans?
Yeah.
The beings of Ib.
I don't want to fight anything incorporeal.
Oh, okay then.
Great. All right.
Never mind.
There we go. Okay.
God, how many of these
Shoot.
people are they going to just eat through before they get to us?
I'm okay with that.
And everybody roll initiative.
Shocker.
Shocker. Okay, so first of all, a bunch of the people near the door would be blasted back by the water. So I'm going to pour a whole bunch of people away.
Oh, dabs.
Oh, little halfwick.
All right, Gripper,
21.
Dabwick,
3.
there it is. And Dora,
8.
uh-huh, and Vic.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Nice, all right.
Look at all the Ib shades who go before me.
Okay, so all of these squares that have people in them will be considered difficult terrain as you're moving through them, as you can probably imagine. Unless I don't know, unless somebody has some traders thing that changes that. I don't think that's anybody in this campaign. So we've got 4 Ib shades that have flowed with the water and the sea fog down those stairs into this room, blasting back that massive collection of people that was eating food and fucking over by the stairway there. So there's a little bit of clear space in front of them, but they've got people all around, and these things are staring. Well, they don't have eyes. They are directing their head about with obvious malice, but they are making no sound. Or if they are, maybe it's hard to tell because it's so fucking loud in this room from the roars of thunder and lightning out there. Vic, Musketeer Vic, you are the first to act.
Musketeer Vic is going to down an extract of Channel Vigor.
Yeah, there we go.
And putting it immediately into his limbs.
Remind me what that does.
That gives him haste.
Okay, great.
And then he is going to look at
Ibshade number 1.
Ibshade number 1, making it his studied target, and is going to move himself through his friend's grip and Dabwick to get a little bit closer, and that is his turn.
Still, though, I note, staying behind the civilians.
I mean,
what are you going to do?
He's a ranged fighter. He does not need to get up close and personal with these things.
Ibshade number 2 is up. Floats through the air to close with a very regal-looking woman who has a sort of a crimson headdress over her golden gown. Reaches out a clammy frog hand. The hand passes through her and she drops dead. And as she falls, those of you that can see her face, this is probably Vic from the angle here. Vic, you see this horrible look of understanding cross over her face as she's racked with pain. Her eyes go wide. She seems to see clearly and understand why and then she drops dead to the ground. Grip, you are up.
Well, Grip needs to take one rank of knowledge religion. Because if I had one rank of knowledge religion, I could take the Ghost Slayer feat.
Oh, something to think about.
So I might be rethinking some of the ideas I had for level 9 after this fight might inform that. Mm-hmm. But that's just wishful thinking right now. Grip will take a swift action. Face goes slack, neck goes crack, eyes roll back, and he will take the dedicated adversary feat, and he will take, Ibshade, I guess. So there's one first round of that. Then he's gonna down one of his bull strengths.
Draw and drink,
and then I think we're good.
People screaming all around you. The death has begun. Gripper's drinking a potion. Ibshade number 4 is right next to a man who appears to be naked, probably caught in the middle of having sex with someone on that table of food right there. Hand goes out from Ibshade 4 into the man's chest. You see again this terrible gasp of revelation and understanding pass through his face as he drops dead. Then the shade continues on its way to close with another woman in front of him. Ibshade 3 floats forward. The man that had been standing right next to the first woman that died is summarily slain, hand through chest, terrible revelation. Corpse falls to the ground. Ibshade number 1 is next to somebody was in the middle of, judging by the look on this token, a very pompous-looking fellow who was in the middle of telling a story that he thought everybody was super interested in. Oh boy, with a natural 20, he realizes just how uninteresting he was as he falls dead. The ghost floats forward. They're sort of clearing this path of spread out empty space in a cone away from this doorway cut into the wall. Dora, you're up. They're getting awfully close now. This one's about 20 feet away from you or so. Yeah, they're getting close. The lines of people between you and them are beginning to thin.
Happy birthday, Anathema. We let Tima out?
Yep.
Tima's nuts, but she knows the biggest advantage we have with Dora's weird way of casting spells is that you can't tell it's coming from her.
Right.
So without cackling or doing anything weird, she casts Purge Spirit on Ibshade 1, who is closer to her.
And remind me, is this a single target spell or is it an area effect?
Oh, it's single target.
Great.
One creature or haunt.
Fantastic. All right, let me make... is it a will save?
DC 19.
The 21 makes the save.
Then they only take half damage.
All right.
Which is 15, and they are not staggered.
You see the form of this eyeless, froggy creature, like unnervingly kind of close to some of the forms that Dabwick has taken in the past, just writhe in pain, utterly soundlessly, as wisps of their incorporeal self is floating off of the thing and joining the fog and mist in the air, the sea fog, the sea mist in the air. Definitely took that damage.
And Tima whispers to Grip,
You see that one there? I loosened him up for you.
for a bit of combat advice.
Nice.
And she will take a 5-foot step
Back?
back.
Yeah.
Assuming that everybody is sort of moving and shifting, and it doesn't look
yeah.
really obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Dabwick.
Dabwick summons a column of holy fire
Yeah.
and drops it on a couple of Ib shades.
Yeah, they
Let's
do.
see what
2
happens.
and
here.
3. I'll give you some reflex saves.
Enjoy the understanding right back.
22 and 19.
They both make the reflex save.
Okay.
So that's 24 points. Half would be 12.
And then half again because they are incorporeal.
So they don't take fire damage?
Because this fire is corporeal and they are ghosts, they only take half of the damage that they would take. So the 24 becomes 12, which then becomes 6.
Great.
So they each take 6 points of damage. It does seem to burn them.
Dabwick will finish their turn by taking a 5-foot step behind Grip.
Yeah.
And say, I don't know how much help I'm going to be here.
It's up. And then chaos erupts as all of these hundreds of people, having gotten through their momentary slight pause of just standing there screaming and staring slack-jawed in terror, as they all start to book it. I'm just going to grab swaths of tokens here and move them a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, people
Wow.
are
We probably should have moved more. They're
People
just
are-
going to clear out from around.
Oh, they totally do, don't they? Yeah. Of course, this is what would happen, right? In the process,
Not that I want to sacrifice a civilian for my own well-being, but would Ibshade 1 have taken an attack of opportunity
oh
on
yeah,
her?
yeah. So as this chaotic mass departure happens,
Sorry, lady.
2 more people drop as Ibshade 1 and Ibshade 3 take their attacks of opportunity for the round as the people is trying to run away from them. You see 2 more people drop. Meanwhile, through that open doorway, where water is now pouring down this fucking stairwell cut into the sea wall, outside, you hear a roar.
Like of an elder god?
Whatever just roared. Here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is it's fairly far away, but it's bigger than a city. Something larger than your brains can truly comprehend just unleashed a bellow outside. You hope it's not like right at the top of the stairs. You think, how could it be? How could no. Something
it would be
couldn't
smaller
be.
if
It
it
could,
was
yes,
at
if
the
it, yes. So Dora's just like, no, it would be smaller. It would be, it has to be smaller. Something outside, beyond your mind's comprehension, has roared into the night sky, and as it roars, you see all around the city from the other walls where the windows are, lightning flares in time with its roars. And then you start to see tornadoes developing outside the windows of this room. panes of glass are flying, shattering into the space.
Maybe we should just start killing the Sarnathians so they'll think we're helping.
So what is Dora's intelligence score?
21.
She spent a lot of time in these books. And she also shares brain folds with Tima Anteo, who understands a lot more about all of this than you do consciously. And I've been thinking, like, how to address this. And
Well, I've got that mechanic that once per day lets me make a knowledge check based on being possessed, basically, which is separate from Tima, but I'm flavoring it that it has to do with Tima.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will. Happy to use that as a once per day.
I love that as
check.
a use. So just tick that off. I'm going to give Katie some information here that only Dora knows. And we're going to let Katie make a decision on what her character chooses to do with it. She may tell the rest of you.
What
she
Tima Antea chooses to do with this information.
Oh my God, that's true. It's true. What Anathema knows about this information. So since the beginning, I have mostly kept the crunch of madness kind of behind the screen. We've brought out what we need to when we need to do it. And from the beginning, we've sort of been referring to madness as operating on one of three levels. Either you're sane, you have a lesser madness, or you have a greater madness. And obviously, within a madness, you could be dormant or not. And we've been sort of shorthanding since level 1, greater madness equals out of the game. That was useful at level 1. I think right now I'm going to clarify that because there is actually one more layer beyond greater madness. So to re-clarify greater madness, there are some greater madnesses that you might choose to actually continue to play your characters with. And the thing with greater madnesses is, as well, like we've been doing with the lesser madnesses, you can tend to those. You know, the restorations, the counseling, the resting, all that stuff can help you get back down and out of those. There is one step beyond that, and that is insanity. And that is if you take enough sanity damage equal to your sanity score, which is the total of your mental ability scores. Your intelligence score plus your charisma score plus your wisdom score. Now, without getting too deep into the crunch, here's some things that Anathema comprehends immediately. If indeed there is a great old one outside that door, if Grip sees it, it's over. There is a flat 95% likelihood that no matter what Dabwick or Vic do, it's over. There's not a single spell they can cast that can raise their will save high enough to prevent them from probably taking enough damage to drive them to full insanity. Slim, there's a 5% chance. If they roll a natural 20, they'll probably walk away just with a greater madness. The only person who the math says could even possibly see the thing and continue as a person is herself. And that's only if she ramps up her mental ability scores as close to or above 60 as she possibly can. Now, she's got things that can raise her mental ability scores by 8. She's got...
But only for one round.
Sure, but it's the round that you make the save.
And that would bring my one ability score that could get there to 59.
You might, maybe you've got like, I don't know, Fox's Cunning or Owl's Wisdom or something in one of your spell books. She, just as Anathema and Dora are processing this, these truths are coming to her, that if you need to go outside, that she might be the only one who could walk away from this. Have fun with that decision.
I guess we'll find out what I do with that on my turn.
Great. Round 2. Vic, you're up. Suddenly, the area around you has cleared, and you're standing a little bit in the clear, shoulder to shoulder with Grip, with nothing between you and at least 3 of these Ib shades. No cover anymore.
Can I make a knowledge check about these Ib shades at all?
You may.
What do I need to roll?
Give me both a dungeoneering check and a religion check.
terrible. 18 on the Dungeoneering with a natural... sorry, not a natural one. That's Inspiration. Add 1 to the roll above. So 18 for Dungeoneering and a 18 for Religion. That's what I got, including Inspiration on both of those. And I can't add anything to either of them.
You know nothing.
Great. He is going to... this is all so bad. This is also bad. He's going to take 1 shot at Ibshade number 1.
Yep.
He levels Vanity and fires. That is a 23 touch.
That's a hit.
9 points of damage. That does not seem like enough to even remotely do what we need to be doing.
And that's reduced down to 4. Oh. Because it is a corporeal bullet. That's shot number 1.
All right, he's got to move. He can't just stay there because he's going to get swarmed by these things.
Yeah.
So he fires 1 shot, and then he bolts. And he moves himself back behind this thing. What is this thing?
It's a column.
He
yeah.
bolts and runs back behind the column.
All right. So as the crowd is like stumbling all over itself to scramble away, Vic is pushing through them and ducking behind a nearby column that extends all the way to the ceiling. Ibshade number 2 is up. Let's... Ooh. Grip and one of the partygoers are equidistant. Here we go. Even is Gripper. All right. It goes for the woman. So the Ibshade with its empty eye socket sort of turns to look at you eerily and silently, Gripper, and then floats silently across the way, thrusts his hand through a woman's heart who looks with certain understanding, and then falls dead. Gripper, you're then up.
Well, I'm going to go for the one that I've got the combat advice on. First, I'm going to take a Swifty and drop into the pummeling style.
Boom.
I am going to expend 5 stamina points to be able to do all attacks as a single action.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to move to Ibshade number 1.
The one that Vic just shot. The one that Dora blasted with
and I
Purge
have
Spirit.
I have power attack going on because if I'm going to hit it, I want to do more damage.
Yep.
And then I'm going to unleash a flurry of blows.
Combat advice only on the first attack.
Copy that, thank you. First attack. Let's see, that's a 15 on the die for a 28.
Keeping it.
Yeah.
Hit.
Okay.
Do people have action points left?
No.
I have 1 or 2, I think.
Okay.
All right, so the first round of attack is 7 plus 13. That's 20 points of damage.
Ooh, reduced to a 10. It's now bloodied. Oh, and I picture this like the force shields in Dune, right? Like the fist just going, it goes into nothing, and then and you see the shade blast back in pain.
Attack number 2.
Yep.
That's a 19. I'm going to see what that does.
Hit.
All right. That's another 20 for 10.
10 more points of damage, still floating there.
Attack number 3,
at
back
you.
to full top attack bonus.
Empty eye sockets.
21.
Yep.
Another 20 for 10.
And it dissipates and disappears from this realm of existence. Boom. It's gone.
I've got an attack
Didn't
left,
even get to bleed.
but that's my turn.
All right. Ibshade number 4 is going to move out and murder somebody, which he does. There she goes. She drops. Shoo. Ibshade 3. Ooh, now just saw. All right. It's going after Grip.
Yeah.
Floats up to close with Grip. A froggy hand reaches out. This is against your touch armor class, unless you have any force or deflection effects going.
I don't think I do. So it's a lousy...
Do you have a ring of protection?
Yes, I do have a ring of protection plus 1.
Keep that 1 in.
So touch armor class of 16. Which is not great, Bob.
Great, Bob.
There it is.
16.
God damn it.
Damn it.
Okay.
What kind of bullshit is this going to be?
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a
I don't just die, I hope.
higher save than the average party voter.
Depends what it is.
So first of all, Grip's body takes 8 points of damage, which manifest as racking burn marks and bruises all over him. So this hand extends into his chest, and you see Grip just howl in agony as it looks like he's been burned and punched and beaten. I need you to give me a will save for Grip or Robert as Grip becomes almost certain that this is where he dies.
All right.
Come on, buddy.
That's an 11. I mean, I gotta try. A 17.
All right.
Thanks to the action.
So, Grip knows that this is not where his story ends, fights off that effect, and is not left shaking in his boots. But this image, as it retreats from his mind, Robert, Grip is left with this terrible certainty that he deserves to die. Not only is he supposed to die here, but he has it coming.
That's not that different than how he left the party, so...
Heyo. Dora, you're up.
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
Timo will cast Purge Spirit on the one closed with Grip
Yes. Oh, natural 1.
for 32 points of damage.
Ooh.
God, please kill it. Please kill it.
Nope.
God damn it. Well, it's bleeding.
It's okay. It's bloodied and bleeding.
Fuck. Really hoped it would be one and done.
I know.
And then I think I gotta move.
Run away!
Yeah. I don't know that there's any point talking about going out the door while we're still facing these things. And I don't know. The closest person to Anathema at this point is Dabwick. And I think Dabwick is probably the one she least gets. Has a handle on who they are in the party.
Yeah. I
In
buy
the
it.
decision-making hierarchy.
Yeah.
So she will, I think, go next to Vic and say, "We can't leave this room, mate.
What?
We do, we're dead."
All right.
So Dabwick is up, now left in the middle of an open space.
Yeah, I'm really
ta-
sorry.
Yeah, what can you do?
Can Dabwick draw the wand of Cure Light
You
Wounds
can't draw it on the move, though.
on the move?
No, not on the move. Only weapons.
Bummer.
Do you have any prepared?
I do. All right, so Dabwick will cast Cure Light Wounds, hold the spell in their hand,
Yes.
cross over towards
It's on the other side of Grip.
to the other side of Grip, and deliver that Cure Light Wounds spell.
All right, give me a melee touch attack.
Come on.
That is an 8 on the die for 16.
Do you have action points?
Nope.
It dodges out of the way, but your hand is still glowing. You're still holding that charge. You can put it on yourself or Gripper or try to attack it with it next turn. But you are left standing right next to it. Oh, the people. The people are running. The people are running.
Oh gosh.
It's so scary when you move all like that.
Oh gosh.
There's nowhere to go, though. They're stuck in the room, right? They're going to be plastered against the walls, yeah? Oh, no, they're
all
this
running.
room.
This is just
This is
one
only one
tiny little
little-
corner of the room. They're all running for the exit, leaving you all the front line here. Outside, another massive roar, and this time the entire palace shakes. You are all nearly bowled off of your feet as the sound of this voice moves the earth beneath this palace. Tornadoes, rain, wind, glass everywhere. People are dying and screaming. People are falling and tripping onto broken glass, cutting themselves. And there is this horrible green light now emanating down that long staircase that's filled with water that's flowing from the lake. It had just been pure white sort of sea fog before in the water, but now that whole stairwell where these ghosts came from is bathed in eerie green light, and you hear a outside. Something kind of magical and ritually maybe seems to be happening outside.
Great.
That's the end of that round. Top of round 3. Vic, you're behind a column.
You're having so much fun.
Vic is going to take a 5-foot step from behind the column, levels Vanity at Ibshade number 3.
I'm gonna try to make the shot between
luck,
Grip
buddy.
and Dabs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
Thread that
correct.
needle.
Tell me what I need to subtract.
Subtract 4, and I will add 4 to its armor class for the cover.
That is a natural 20
Ooh.
with a crit confirm of 38 minus 4, 34.
Fuck.
That is a hit. Although it seems as though something in the way these things are put together, their alien bodies are not subject to critical hits or precision damage. Sorry, I know.
That's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
So it just doesn't even matter. All right, well, 9 points of damage, so 4.
And it dissipates. It's gone.
And then I have 2 more shots.
You sure do.
However, I can't make this other thing my study target, so it's just shooting at it.
Yeah, you do
in
have a
the
clear line to Ibshade number 2.
Who's a little injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I will fire at it twice and see what happens.
Pew pew.
That first one is a 21 touch,
That's a hit.
and then a 30 touch.
Both hit,
Excellent. And that is going to be for...
except the 30.
First one does a total of 3 points of damage. Second one is a total of 5 points of damage.
Okay, it's a total of 1 and then 2, so 3 points of damage.
But you have clearly signaled that we are attacking 2 now.
It has been signaled. And then, is that the end of your turn?
Except it's
That
gonna
is
go.
the end of my turn.
Now it goes. Boom, soars over to the gripper. Hand extends. 19. Oh, 11 more points of damage. And give me that will save. Okay. You deserve the death that's about to happen,
Oh,
Grip.
that sounds about right. 18 on the die, so that's better than last time.
Nice.
Yay!
All right, you fight the
Yay.
effect off. Gripper, then you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking fuck this guy up.
Yeah, fuck it up.
Yeah, same deal. I'm gonna use another. Actually, I don't need to. There's no point in spending the stamina points because I can just take a full attack on it.
Correct.
So I'm gonna do that. I'll take. I will add weapon specialization
Great.
to that. So that's that's another use of that. Two of those. Keep the other one going.
Done and done.
First attack. 22
Hit.
for what's 7 plus 15?
22.
22. So 11.
11 points of damage, leaving it bloodied.
Second attack. Yeah, that's an 18 on the die for a 24.
Great.
That's 25 for
Yeah, 12.
Another 12.
All right.
Third attack.
Come on, Gripper.
18 on the die, so that's a hit.
Come on, Gripper.
That's a 7 plus 15. That's another 22, another 11.
And it disappears. Well done.
And that I got another attack, but should I move? No, I took a full attack, so no.
You could take a 5-foot step if you want to get a little bit closer than Dabwick to the one that's about to go.
Step in front of them.
all set.
So Grip steps in front of Dabs as it closes with Grip. Zoom. Hand comes out. Ooh. Ooh. Natural 20.
Come on, you could knock that off. I'm also not susceptible to crits.
But 13 on the backup, so that's not a critical. All right. 8 more points of damage and another will save.
Okay, 16 on the die for a 20.
All right, you're fighting this off. Gripper's mental fortitude is hold. It's true. It's true. Dora, you're up.
Hi.
Hi.
Guess
Hi.
what I'm going to do?
I can't imagine. That's something really good against incorporeal things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Blast.
All right. Hey, 5 on the die. There's no way that's going to save. It does not save. All right, fail.
27 points of damage.
It's
And
bloody.
it's staggered
It's
and bleeding.
so it can only take a single move action or standard action on its next round. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
It doesn't have anywhere to go, but still.
Dabwick, you're up. You still got that hand charged.
Yeah.
Dabwick takes a 5-foot step forward to the side of their buddy Grip
Yeah.
and reaches
Oh,
out to
do it, buddy. This would be so great.
touch attack. Nope. That's a 7 on the die for a total of
Dabs.
15.
The hand just passing through the air as it was...
I have so much help to give.
People running, screaming. Oh my god, the end of the world is happening outside. The floor is now shaking and rumbling. The roar is so loud, it is louder than Vic's gun going off. And all of you, like, you just can't help the sensation of your bowels loosening. Whatever is out there is something you were not meant to encounter. Vic, you're up. Top round 4 here. There's one Ib shade left.
Vic sees everyone gathered around the final Ib shade.
Yeah.
Narrows his eyes, making that Ib shade his studied target.
Success.
Levels vanity.
Yes.
And unloads.
Subtract 4 for firing into melee.
Yep.
But I think no cover at from this angle.
Does a 28 touch hit.
Yes.
Excellent. Does a 26 touch hit.
Yes.
Does a natural 1 for a 19 minus 4. What is that? That's going to be a
Natural
15
1 is a
touch.
miss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
That was your hasted attack?
that was my hasted attack. All right, so 12, 13.
The last Ib shade vanishes. And we will make some decisions about what the holy fucking hell to do about what you found yourself in next time. That's the end of chapter 137. Welcome to Sarnath, y'all. The last night of Sarnath.
Sarnath sucks.
Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's Paizo.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at Syrinscape.com. That's Syrinscape.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and Ari, Paul and Shannon, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, JH, the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
You know what we're fighting here? We're fighting a couple 2-3 tigers.
Heyo.
Is that a reference to something?
No, it's just, it's like the Chicago 3, but it's a couple
Tree.
2-3
Okay,
tigers.
yeah,
A couple
2-3.
2-3 tigers over by there.
Oh, tree tigers.
Yeah,
I get
get
it.
it?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks for taking the time to explain it to
That's
me.
the sign of a good joke.